It's time to gather together. Hi there, I'm Yelta, and I'll be buying the first round while we chat about Final Fantasy XIV. This is episode 7. Pull up a chair and join us. Let's shoot the shit. What's been going on this week, you guys? Ruby, go.
Well, this is more of an all of us thing, but we were successful in beating turn 11 this week.
Bum, ba, da, ba.
Yeah, this is so awesome. It wasn't quite as awesome because the night before we beat it, we got it to 1%, and then we completely shit the bed after that. We were not able to get back to that nice 1%. But I could tell, like, everybody had the motions down, and it's just, I don't know what happened after that. So we had to postpone, and it wasn't going to work out. And then suddenly something happened, and all our team members were able to be present. And we went in, and we'd like totally destroy. I think like maybe the third attempt.
It was the second.
Second.
Yep.
So we just, everybody was like in sync. Everybody was feeling it. It was awesome. I'm that guy, like at the end, when we're at that like last 2%, 1%, I'm like, go, push, 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 push. Oh, and I love that feeling. So
You sound like a labor coach.
Breathe and push.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe.
How about you, Kariri?
In
Oh,
other
yeah, go ahead.
news, I also got the lightning card.
Oh,
to
yeah.
Taru.
Awesome sauce.
So that's
She
you
finally
two.
dropped it for me.
You both have it. No,
So
I suck.
yes,
Yeah.
now you need it, Yelta.
Yelta's turn.
But you have like every other Final Fantasy card in the game, so whatever. No love for you. And then I went into the tournament and it sucks like always. So
What sucks about it?
it's just I can't get the points. Somebody needs to send me your guides to getting the most points out of these tournaments because I am struggling. I did this one feebly just because I wanted the roulette wins, but I got 3,600 points, which is kind of gimp. But the low end of the board was 4510, and the high end was like 55 something.
Oh.
I just don't know how you break 4,500 in
Wow.
this stuff. So
Yeah,
somebody send it to me, please. And that's my week.
All right. How about you, Kariri?
Well, going off of what Ruby said, yeah, we all won turn 11, and it was fantastic. But with the tournament, I also finished the tournament this week. I did all the matches, and I didn't even break 3,000. So, but I just went after the lowest one in there, and just kept doing the same one over and over and over again. I never played another human being, just because I wanted the double roulette wins. For towards getting which card is that?
That's what's her
Remember
name
that
from
card?
11? Shantotto.
Oh, No, it's not
No.
Shantoto. I
Oh,
already
for the
have
roulette
Shantoto.
wins, you're talking about that's Vaughn.
Vaughn, thank you.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah, I don't have Vaughn yet, so I've been just trying to pile up those roulette wins as much as possible. So yeah, I didn't even have as many points as you, but I wanted to finish the tournament so at least I get the MGP, and at least I have a chance at getting a couple of packs for the platinum cards. But yeah, other than that, I played almost not at all. We had, events going on, things going on in real life, so I didn't get to play as much as I like to. But what I did get to play was pretty damn good. We got our turn 11 in, and we got to go, ram our face against 12. That was pretty amusing for a little bit. Just walking in there knowing absolutely nothing, and it's always amusing because we know we're not in there to win. We're just there to see what it looks like and die a horrible death. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, that's all I had. How about you, Yelta?
That was pretty much it. The T11 win was the highlight. I have not even entered the tournament. I hope I still have time. But yeah, I do. Yeah, I didn't even cap Soldier or Poetics. I didn't do anything this week. I was like fishing on other characters.
Oh yeah, I didn't even tower run. I didn't do anything.
I knew we were going to win 11 soon because generally one of us has a meltdown a day or two before that, and
It was Yelta's
and it was my turn. I'm like, why do I hate this game? Why does this game hate me? I'm like typing all this messages to Kariri. She's like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm fine. So yeah, I knew it was going to be soon. So I do really enjoy. We always go into the next turn blind. Our static seems to always do that. We study really well the one we're on, and this being final coil, we didn't want to spoil anything. And it turns out I was only partially spoiled, and I still really I like the cutscenes and everything. I was really impressed having now gone and read these strategies. I was really impressed how quickly our little group was like, after like 3 or 4 polls, we're like, we had some of that stuff right. We had like figured out how some of the stuff works, and when to tank swap and what to stack, what not to stack. I'm always impressed with our little group. We're behind, but damn, it's not because we are awful or anything. Apparently, I'm very excited when Alexander comes out to get to try that stuff first off. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we more have scheduling conflicts and computer issues than actual problems in Coil. So yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with our little group too, and I can't wait to get us all into Alexander. And I know we've been talking about different people trying some different roles, so it could be a neat little switch up right there at the expansion.
It's gonna be chaos. Speaking of the expansion, on the menu tonight, we are going to talk about the live letter from the producer, part 20. Was a new duty commenced. The Heavensward content release schedule is out and available. And our own Yoshi P was in Time Magazine, which is exciting. And we have fan mail this week, guys. Fan mail.
Ooh.
All right, the first round news. It's happening tonight as we record this. Well, later. All Worlds maintenance for patch 2.56. Will be at, what is that, 1 a.m. here? Oh, Christ, I didn't do anything this week. Okay. So a lot of people are having speculation. It is a 0.01 patch, which means it's not huge adjustments or anything. But people are speculating what it might be. People got some pretty severely large wishes on what it might be. What do you guys think it is?
Almost nothing. I think it's absolutely almost nothing. I know a lot of people are hoping it'll be Echo for Final Coil. I know some people are hoping that they'll be nerfing turn 9. There's just a ton of things that people want it to be. Like you said, some of the wishes on the forums are a little ridiculous, but I know some people are still expecting like new content before the expansion. I'm like, you are nuts.
No.
They are done with that.
I don't even know of a holiday between now and the new expansion.
No, I think this is it. I really do. I think we're just doing this until the expansion comes out, and I'm fine with that. They gave us our big bang ending, They gave us our closure to the story, until the expansion. So I don't feel like I need anything more. I mean, if they wanted to have little dragon attacks all over by the bridge or something until the expansion comes out, that would be cool. But it's not necessary. It's not going to make my life better. And I feel like we're in a good closure spot for 2.0.
For sure.
So people who are asking for that are just silly.
I mean, we had a 6-hour maintenance just to make the Valentine's Day outfit dyeable. So people are now saying, that we asked, can we have the post Moogle hat dyeable? I mean, that could be involved. I mean, I don't know. If
they did say they would look into it.
They were going to look into it. I wouldn't be surprised if we did get a small Echo for Final Coil. Usually soon after.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
either.
soon after they put it on the Duty Finder. Yeah. Some people are guessing Uncapped Poetics. I honestly don't think they'll do it, but
I don't think so either.
Care. I don't care. Nerfed.
I don't think so either, because so they can keep people on the hook for doing some stuff. I know it's almost time for the expansion, but I still think they're going to keep those capped poetics.
Here's my question: what is the advantage to keeping it capped versus uncapping it?
I still have to log in every week.
I don't know what the advantage is as far as. Yeah, you have to log in every week. It's lame, but they've kept us on for lamer excuses.
This is true.
And just the way that menu is set up, I kind of find it hard to believe they're going to change that menu up so both are uncapped. I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't change that menu up the way that it looks in the in the menus.
I think my only reason why I think it would be kind of cool for them to uncap it is you have all of these people who are very, very bored, who are waiting for the expansion to come out and have supposedly very little to do. If you uncapped Poetics, they could actually, instead of ending their sub until the expansion comes out or going and playing a different game, they could actually run content until their eyes bleed, until the expansion comes out, and gear up all their jobs if they wanted to. Something like that.
I will give you this. If this was 1.0, we'd all have relics under our beds.
Oh, yeah.
It would have done the same.
So this is Yoshida's game. You probably are closer to the truth than I am.
Yeah.
Poetics for everyone.
Poetics for it should be raining from the sky.
Yeah, I'm not even saying I think that's a good thing. I just think I think it's the argument, you know?
But it breaks their pattern. And on top of that, on top of breaking the pattern, if you want to gear up your subclasses, you still have World of Darkness. You have the weekly run. I think they want you to do the weekly run. And you can get into Coil. I think that's how they want you to gear up past the stuff you can do with Poetics right now. All right. We also had the Letter from the Producer Live Part 20. That was on Saturday, April 11th. It's a while ago now, but we had other exciting things to talk about last week. There was a digest you can find on the forums. There was a live translation doc by a fan, and thank you. I can't remember your name who did it, but I watched the letter and I read your doc, and I actually knew what he was talking about. The video itself was archived on Twitch. So they also covered pretty much all that stuff and some more fun stuff on the Duty Commenced. That was on Monday, April 13th. That's also archived on Twitch. It's pretty much the same information they gave us in the live letter, but in English, and we got to see, our community team.
Yay.
Yay. They also updated, this is the meat, guys. They actually updated the Heavensward site. And, yeah, I know, right? Well, and here's what gets me. I'm going to, just a little sidetrack here. They give us links and all sorts of stuff. I feel like I see the information on the live letters and the Duty Commenced. I don't always see, oh, by the way, we updated the site. I did see one tweet this time around, but I think they need to get that out there more.
Yeah, I was looking around for this because I kept seeing things on Twitter about it. And I'm like, so I went, of course, to the Lodestone, to see, what updated. And it's not on the front of the Lodestone.
It sure isn't. I was putting together these notes, and I was like, I guess I better go to Google and type in Heavensward to find the site.
I mean, we're all excited. We're all craving news. We're all anticipating Heavensward. I'm really surprised they didn't just stick it there.
Well, somebody's going to write in and say, well, it's on the banner if you went to the third page.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's somewhere on there, but it wasn't just in my face.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the site updates need to be a little bit more in our face. But they did give us new race and job information. There was a new trailer, right, for Heavensward before the presentation. If you played through the storyline, you're safe to watch this. It showed us all the stuff that happened in the patch, so now we understand why we're going to Ishgard. I thought it was really well done. I think we talked about it a little bit the last show.
For sure.
There's a new title screen. It's pretty. It has a dragon. The main scenario is, of course, the Dragonsong War, and it apparently has more than 50 hours of gameplay with additional content to be added each patch. If the new storyline is 50 hours, that is a lot of bang for. I don't even mind ordering the collector's edition now. That's
a lot of game.
That seems like a lot.
I will say that in one of the interviews, he did say that includes the time you're just leveling.
That's fine.
But that's still. That's still a really high number.
Honestly, I'm hoping leveling the first class to 60 is through the quest line. I hope they throw at us enough experience points that if you play through the storyline, you will get to 60. That's what it was in 2.0.
Yep.
Yep. I did roll a new character in 2.0 and leveled it with my husband. And yeah, you pretty much, I didn't go grind. I didn't go run extra dungeons. The storyline pretty much kept me up to pace with my leveling needed. And so did the rewards. I never, did anything money making. So I'm hoping that that will be the same in 3.0. They showed us the aura. Duty commenced to explain the naming conventions, and this is also on, I think. No, duty commenced to explain the naming conventions for the two clans, and the two clans are talked about on the website. I don't know how to pronounce any of these, so
I think it's Rain.
Rain, and those are the light-skinned
And
ones.
That's right, and the Zayla.
So the Rain are the ones who have the Doma relationship and a Japanese naming convention. The Zayla have dark skin and they're nomadic. Sounds like and warlike, kind of tribal from what reading it. And they will have different naming conventions.
Yeah, I think the naming conventions were one of those hot scoops that they've got on Duty Commenced. So Yoshida had been asked, but I don't think they went into much detail in Duty Commenced. Shared at least the Japanese naming one for the Rain. I think there's more to come, but they couldn't share too much information.
I know that in the past, Fernwells has been very forthcoming and basically has explained all of the naming conventions people have asked for. So I'm sure he's got a document out there waiting for the okay to release to us. So we will know how to name our aura.
I'm betting they're just like checking everything across translations right now or something, just to make sure like one of their naming conventions doesn't say giant dong in some language.
Giant dong. There will be new gear, as we all know. They showed the monk. There's going to be quests for the new jobs. Of course, the jobs always start at level 30. The new ones are going to start at level 30. There's going to be new quests for existing jobs from 50 to 60. And there's going to be new DOH and DOL quests from 50 to 60. And one thing I noticed about the way they worded it, now correct me if I'm wrong, I have leveled up some of my Disciple of the Hand jobs just by handing stuff in. It sounds like the 50 to 60 quests, of course, you will have had to do the 1 through 50 quests then. It sounds like some of the abilities will be from quests. So if you have not done your quest, I think you're going to have to catch up. So if you're bored right now, you need to go talk to all your quest trainers and do all your quests, because I didn't, and I'm going to be busy.
I'm also going to recommend for those of you who have not done those quests, check the market boards for prices for buying the materials versus buying or gathering the materials combined versus the price of the item itself. Because a lot of them on the leveling up quests right now, the item itself is cheaper, at least on our server. When you get towards 45 or 50 level quests, it is going to cost you a lot less to make it yourself. But some of them, if you're like, I was still level 20 with a lot of mine when I just got all my disciples of the land or disciples of the hand to 50. And most of their quests were still level 20, and it was much cheaper just to buy the items a lot of the time.
Yeah, if they're cheaper than the teleporting out to gather all the materials, then
and some of them work.
Some of them are
a resource too.
Oh yeah, well some of those items are like 1,000 gil, and it's like, well, if I teleport out to 2 places and spend 2 hours gathering mats, I might as well have bought it. But if you like gathering too, it depends on what you like. All right, speaking of quests, there will be no Genki or no level cap breaking quests from 50 to 51, which makes me sad. You can get XP as soon as you log in. So don't worry about having to do some sort of convoluted fetch quest, grind quest, whatever. You're going to get to level up. However, remember, all of our job quests tend to have a solo, challenge of some sort. I'm still stuck on ninja. So Heavensward itself, the events in Heavensward take place only a week or two after the end of 2.55. So there's not been 5 years later, like our 1.0 to 2.0 jump was years later.
Yeah, I think they described it as like somebody's trying to get you into Ishgard, so give them a week or whatever to get it figured out, to get the papers in place, and that's pretty much as long as it'll take for us to get into Ishgard.
I don't really see the benefit in jumping as ahead months or years anyway, so I'm kind of glad for
Well,
this.
no. Yeah, I mean, there was a reason for it story-wise before. There's just not here. It makes more sense to do it this way because of the whole immediacy of the dragon attacks and the dragon war. So I'm glad they're doing it this way.
And we are going to get in Heavensward 9 new areas, including Ishgard and the floating continent, which is the field area, the open world area. They're going to be 50 to 100% larger than existing areas, which I'm very excited about.
Oh, that's huge. I know Yoshida shows us like he flies way up in the air on a chocobo at some point in the presentation, and you see like everything, and it is so awesome to see that far out and all the little islands and stuff. It's incredible how big these zones are.
And we'll talk about that next. New flying mounts. You do have to be attuned to the area before you can just fly around willy-nilly. We have no idea to this point what that attunement will mean, but I do like the idea that you might have to actually traverse it on foot or something to a point, and then you can have unrestricted landing and takeoff. So it looked like the flying was pretty fluid and pretty. It looked kind of fun. However, you won't be able to fly in 2.0 areas. They were not designed that way. But your flying mount will work as a regular mount on the ground with a 200% increase of speed in the air. Ground mounts are 90% for reference. They do plan... Yeah, go ahead.
No, they gave some little formula or whatever on there, and it was kind of neat to see the word, like how fast a mount was compared to how you are. Can you imagine though having a flying mount in the 2.0 areas? I mean, if you are going 200% or 2.0 or whatever they said it was, like you would be across the zone in such a blink of an eye. As small as kind of remember the complaint about how the 2.0 zones were like
I was one of those
so
people,
much smaller.
I was one of those people complaining. The zones are pretty tiny, but hopefully that this will show us that those were the starter zones and that these are the big boy zones.
True.
They do plan on fixing the 2.0 flying mounts in the future. So like your Araman, I think they said they would like to make actually a mount you can fly on in Heavensward. They said another one. Is it the bomb chair? The bomb chair. So yeah, eventually they're going to make those flying mounts too, which is exciting and fun. But however, this one kind of was weird to me. You cannot be attacked once you take off and are in the air. So the air is apparently a safe place. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it would have been annoying. They did show us a video of Yoshida flying around in the starter area. There was a Dark Knight on a griffin on the bow of an airship, and he walked around a bit and then he flew, and they showed it flying up while still in the ceiling. So there is a ceiling, right? You can't go up forever.
Yeah,
but it
kind of reminds me, like you hit it and it like had these little hexagon-y looking things. You remember how you used to walk in the water in C in 11, or like when you go up to Sky right at first when you leave that little Serment area, and the ground when you would walk on it would have these little hexagon things. That's what it looked like when you hit that ceiling. It was so cool looking, and just like I said before, seeing all the way around how pretty and bright and colorful it was gorgeous.
And there was music there too, right? It was the trailer played us some music. I enjoyed it. I don't know.
It was cute.
It was cute.
It was like real upbeat. I don't know if that's like the flying mount music or if that's like the zones music. I don't know if they like mixed together something for this or they're just using the fly, because he never got off the mount, so it may be the flying mount's music.
Yep. Battle content. The new jobs were mentioned again. We are having a level cap of 60. Multiple new actions were added to each job. We're going to have level 3 limit breaks that are for our own class now. And our job. I know, right? Because some of them were really annoying. Some of them are like, seriously? Now, I'm a black mage, so my limit break makes sense all the time. I summon down giant death from above, and that's great.
Oh yeah, and Paladin's protectory one makes sense, and White Mage's healery one makes sense, but like even Warrior as a tank, they are way more like damagey protecty than they are. I don't know. I would love to see Warrior have a different one.
The Warrior one should have been like some sort of axe spinning around with blood splatters. I mean, it's just
oh my god.
Well, no, but that shield thing that pops up is not warrior-y. That they are
it's paladin.
They are a tank, but and then hopefully this will fix the whole Bard has the healer limit break thing.
Oh, that's so gross.
That's so lame. It is.
I get why they did it, and we've used it, but no, I would have rather wiped than use it. They did show us the Dragoon limit break. And that's going to be, that's going to be the benchmark, right? And that benchmark is coming up pretty fast. They said end of April.
Yep.
That's like now, guys. The existing, but the limit breaks, even though they will have a different animation, they will still, I think, or the existing ones will still be distributed amongst the jobs. I don't think Black Mage is getting a different one. I don't think Paladin's getting a different one. So I think they're going to give just, those that exist to those that make sense to.
Right. Agreed.
There will be new job-specific equipment and other new equipment planned. Yay. Yoshi P showed us photos of the jobs and the armor. Again, I think they showed us a bunch of this at the previous video too. Yeah, some of this wasn't new to us. We're going to have, guess what, guys? New elegant tombstones.
Oh my god.
Shut up.
I cannot wait for new tombstones.
What a new and exciting idea.
I know.
New mechanics brought to you in 3.0. Like elegant tombstones.
As much as we joke.
I hope we get fates.
Oh my god.
Just kill me now.
I was saving that. Spoilers.
We will. We'll save it. Okay. Spoiler alert, there are fates in 3.0.
Oh my god. But I'm actually okay with the tombstone thing, but we are going to get a new tombstone called Law, and that will be the unlimited weekly one, or no weekly cap per week. That I said weekly enough. Anyway, we're also getting Esoterics, so it's Esoterics and Law. Esoterics has the weekly limit. I'm assuming it'll be 450 like the other ones were.
So it has a weekly limit.
Shut up. Oh. We are getting Disciple of Hand updates. Yay. It's going to be level 60 in all classes. We're going to get new actions, new recipes. They are planning Materia 5. Yay. I know. Yeah, more materia, guys.
Well, I have some Carbonite 5. Just wondering when I could use that. Didn't we get that as like a 2.0 quest item or reward?
I just remember getting
Carbonized Matter 5.
Yeah, I remember getting it, and there's not really a reason to use it. We are getting a specialist system at level 55. You can choose up to 3 of your Disciple of Hand classes. It will use scripts. Is that how you say it? Scripts? Some sort of token system, maybe? I should count up all the token systems they're introducing. You can use scripts to change your specialization. It is the tombstone of DOH and DOL. So while they're forcing us to specialize, they're not forcing us to stay that way forever. I think it's going to be more like changing grand companies. You can do it, but then you have to do, it'll cost you. So I know some people are really up in arms and some people are really happy about this. Go ahead.
Well, it's also not limiting our level. I mean, we can all still level all of them to 60. The specialist, I believe they said they'll just get some extra abilities and things that you can't get on the other classes. So it's not, you are specializing and you can do bigger, better, more awesome things on those 3 classes, but it's not like you can't level everything else to max level. You still have that ability.
Yeah, I got the impression that you could still get to some recipes with the other classes leveled to 60, but it would probably be like it is now where you're gritting your teeth and you get a 65% HQ, and that's like the best you can get and hope it goes off. Yeah, you can do that on some of these level 60s, but the specialists will have that one or two abilities for that class that will make it, I wouldn't call it a cinch, but a lot easier than the way it is now.
Yep. I don't know if anyone else's free company is already doing this, but we're already like, which 3 are you taking? My husband and I are like,
For sure.
which 3 are you taking? So hopefully it will make every individual crafter more valuable. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. We are also having Disciple of the Land updates, level 60, of course, new actions, new high-level items. They're going to expand treasure hunts, gathering points, and fishing holes. So all these new areas, these new zones, are going to have all the stuff we're used to having. So that's good. There's going to be a new a favor system at level 60. It's some sort of hidden nodes uncovered using divine favors, which is a special buff bought with scripts. There's also a regional folklore at level 60, and that's considered endgame for the gatherers. It's similar to the Disciple of Hand Master recipe books. I really feel like this is something that was missing from the gatherers right now. Basically, like, you can have all the best equipment in the game for gathering, but you still couldn't do anything like master recipe books. So, so I'm excited about that. There's some sort of collectible system. Rowena, we all love Rowena. She orders rare item turn-ins, and she'll give you scripts and XP. The Disciple of Land can also deliver for scripts. It's the best way to level after level 55.
Yeah, I don't remember where I heard that. I'm not even sure if that was in the interview, but somewhere it was said that the best way to level up for the crafters and gatherers for sure, was this collectible system. So I don't know, but they're giving us a lot of ways to level up. No matter, you do the quests, you've got the storyline, but you've also got these other systems that'll help us get to 60 on crafting and gathering. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm sure there'll be leave quests too.
Oh boy.
The scripts come in 2 types, just like our tombstones. There will be red crafter scripts, which are unlimited per week, and blue crafter scripts that have a weekly cap. And gatherer and crafter will both have those. New content. We will have high-level leaves.
Don't say it.
High-level leaves and fates.
Yes!
We're going to have large-scale fates like Odin, new field enemies, new elite hunting marks. Yay. So some of those things aren't new to me.
I just vomited a little in my mouth.
Well, and we're going to have 8 new instance dungeons, which is good. And they did show a library dungeon with a giant book. That's cool. But, leaves, fates, hunt mobs. It says new content on our notes, but it's really the same old content, just with item level 60 slapped on them. I'm hoping there'll be something more. If they give me a thing again where I have to wait for a fate to pop, I will probably kill myself. I don't know.
That is probably the worst mechanic in those relics.
It really, really is.
And I even super don't mind. Like, I've been leveling up alt characters, and when you are leveling and you run across a fate, and there's a couple other people in the area, and you do it. Some of those are kind of fun. They're like, kill this dragon, and you can still die, and you can still wipe, and you can still fail. But the whole, like with the books, that's the only part of the books for the relic weapon I didn't like, was do these 2 fates. And, that's like the weekly hunt mob thing I don't like. Do these 2, or that's a daily. Is it weekly? Whatever. Do these 2 fates. Yeah. And it's like, okay, if I go there and look for it, and there's no way for me to pop it. No, sometimes burning down some other fates will make it pop. Sometimes nothing you do will make it pop.
Yep.
And that is incredibly frustrating. I want to play the game. I don't want to wait to play the game. And some people are like, well, then, go do something else and come back. Well,
no, you'll miss it.
Then you'll miss it.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's a mechanic like waiting for a party in Final Fantasy XI. you're bound to that spot. You can't do anything. You can't move from the zone. You can't do anything else in fear of you can't change classes because it'll mess you up. Not in this. I mean, like in 11.
Yeah.
So it binds you to some mechanic that you can't do. If they would just pop those fates like really fast, I guess I can live with that.
Or if
But
they
they would have to be like on a 5 to 10 minute timer, not this hour-long crap.
I would prefer they do it like treasure chests. I go get an item, I find the place, I use the item, and it pops. If they would give some of those fates a trigger, I wouldn't even mind so much.
Well, maybe the space, and I'm hoping this for hunts, maybe the space that will be coming in 3.0, the large zones. Maybe you can have multiple hunt mobs and things in a zone. You can have multiple special things like these fates, maybe something like you're talking about in a zone. So it's not the same old, same old. Maybe there's some better structure in 3.0 that will allow for some cool new takes on the fates and popping these NMs and hunts, etc.
Yep, I hope they don't make some of the same mistakes and do something new. We do know they learned one thing. We know they learned one thing about our raids, that we like all the people to see the raid, no matter if we're normal or savage. Alexander will have 2 raid levels. Normal is going to be, I think they said like the same difficulty as the currently nerfed in Echo Buffed Coil. And then there's going to be the hard or maybe savage mode, which is going to be more like completing Coil as it came out. It's going to be difficult. They will have the same exact stories behind them, though. So if you are perhaps not wanting to worry about savage mode, you have already seen the story if you've gotten through normal. So I hope everyone gets to see the story. It's going to have a different lotting system. You're going to be able to re-enter as much as you like, and specific.
Yeah, they're talking about specific floors
Okay.
that you could go to. My thinking was like a Nizal or something, that there's different floors that you unlock in Alexander, and each floor was like the next zone. So instead of going like we have to do floor 1 through 5 to get to the 5th tier or whatever, you could just go straight to floor 2. You could go straight to floor 5. Because they talk next about the no lockouts, that you're not locked out of an area or something just because you lotted treasure on an area that you'd been in. So I could lot for treasure on floor 2 and then help somebody else on floor 2 without getting locked out, even though I would now officially be on floor 3.
Oh,
Okay.
that makes sense. Yeah, I know they tried to do something with a number of chests for Final Coil right now, but I've never fully understood it. It's actually not that hard, but it's like I almost never see parties looking for that anymore, I guess. So if I've cleared it, I pretty much, well, now it's on, unlocked, but so there's going to be some sort of limiting factor, though, I would assume. You're not going to be able to just run it all week and get everything.
No, there's got to be something to it. And it may be that it's like the normal stuff you can sub in and out and do it whatever. Savage may have different lockouts. We don't know.
Well, we'll look forward to more information.
They've held back a lot of stuff. I will say this. They haven't given everything. There's been complaints. I've seen some Reddit things like, tell us more. They can't tell us everything yet. Right? You can't ruin everything months. And there may be, well, I doubt they're tweaking anything at this point. It's all a media blast. But they really are just giving us a little bit at a time to keep us on the string. They haven't told us much about the battle content. I think that's an upcoming live letter.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff that they haven't talked to us about yet. So I'm looking forward to a lot more information between now and the end of May.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm hoping after, because the benchmark, I think I'm hoping after the benchmark we'll get another little taste of information. And it's only, God, it's like 2 months away now, so they have to give us some more pretty quick, I would think.
I certainly hope so. Yeah. We're also getting 2 primals, normal and hard. It's going to be a token system like 1.0. 1.0 actually had a token system for, was it both Garuda and Moogle? I can't remember.
I think they ended for Ifrit as well.
They did for
Did it for
Ifrit.
Ifrit?
Yep.
I was probably done with Ifrit by then. So basically, you go in there and you do your fight. Well, how it worked in 1.0 was you could go in, you might get an item dropped, but you would also get some sort of token. I can't talk. And once you farmed up 5 tokens or whatever it was, you could turn it in for the weapon of your choosing. So one of the things that some of us are complaining about right now amongst ourselves is I have done Shiva about 250 times. And I still have never seen the White Mage Cane drop ever. Yep. So hopefully this will get rid of that. If the because we do get the ice. What's the thing called that Shiva drops?
The shard thing.
Yeah. That used to upgrade.
What is it called?
Diamond dust? Is it dust?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they do have that right now, whereas many times, you fighter, and even if you don't get a drop, you might get some of the stuff, and then you can use that to upgrade your item. So they've already experimented in 2.0 with this token system. And honestly, the antique armor from dungeons is like that. You get a body piece, so you turn it in for the body piece of your choice. So I think this will be like that, and I'm happy about that.
I'm a proponent of this.
I'm a proponent, sure. and that means I can still go in many, many times to get all the pieces I want. So, and those are Ravenna and Bismarck. I'm not sure how you say those.
Ravana
and Bismarck. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so those are two primals we're starting out with. And then we will also have a new frontline area with new rules. It will swap around or rotate your starting area, so you won't always be starting in the same place. Yoshi P showed us the PvP armor for the new jobs. Some of it looks cute, I thought. I don't know.
I honestly haven't even seen it yet.
If you don't want to do front lines, or maybe if you do, you can work on your free company workshops. I know this is something that maybe I think Alexandra and Primal Fights and Frontline are great, but some of us are like, how do I do stuff with my free company? And the free company workshops are coming. We're going to be able to craft housing pieces, and some people describe that as we suspect it might be like glamour for your house. And you'll be able to craft airships. I think each free company could have eventually 4 different airships.
Yep.
So it's going to require a workshop in the basement that will be cheap for Gil. Okay, he says cheap. Yeah. Okay, so he says cheap. I think
you mean
I'm it'll be 10.
Personal housing will be cheap. Is that
but personal housing was cheap, right?
More affordable than free company.
More affordable.
Yeah. I don't remember how they worded it, but I remember.
No, he clearly says in this, people do not believe him.
Oh yeah,
because he knows he fucking lied.
Yeah.
About that housing.
And apparently it's going to look like a command center. They did talk in a different letter or something how people are like, how do you craft this in your basement? And it's some sort of miniaturization magic or something. So you can build an airship in your basement. It's just in miniature. So I'm looking forward. The airship stuff excites me because it sounds like it's going to be a system where you could pick different, engines and different, storage holds and stuff. So I'm very excited. I hope they tell us a little more how that's going to work soon.
Yeah, I'm actually excited by it too because it's truly kind of new content, more so than a lot of other things that are coming in 3.0. It's something we could do as a free company. It's something we're adding to the house. It sounds like it's something we could do together, and it's not something we've seen before just at level 60. I know that's kind of silly, but it's something I'm excited by.
Well, some of us kind of had a little bit of a rant. This is a little bit of a rant. Is a lot of this new content is just, it seems like the same stuff we already had just at level 60. So I'm hoping there will be some twists and turns and stuff that's more interesting to actually make it new content. And the free company workshops really seem like they might actually be new.
I'm in agreement with you there because a lot of the stuff we're reading is like, okay, we're finally getting the loot system right. We're finally getting the raid system right. We're finally getting, I guess, these totem systems right. And we're adding more fates and more leaves. It's like, where's the new stuff?
Yeah.
But this actually looks cool, and it actually looks like something that would help free company housing in general, which I think is the sandbox element is sorely lacking in this game. I think a lot of people do want that. I know you two like it. I'm not so much of a sandboxer. I do like the freedom to make things, and it would be nicer to work on the house in a different scale. And I'm hoping that the free company workshops allow us to work on the house. If you look in the pictures, the house is really small, and you can work on the outside of it. And I would love to take it apart and look at it from, like I'm looking at it through a magnifying glass rather than I'm inside bumping against the walls and placing furniture. I want a different style to the sandbox where I felt like I was really playing with Legos. I don't know, just something different.
Well, we do know we're going to craft airships, and with those airships, we can explore the skies on expedition voyages. Right now, to me, and I've heard other people say it, but the first thing that popped into my head was expedition voyages are retainer ventures for your airship.
Yep, that's the first thing I said, definitely.
Yeah, and they will be expanding on this in other 3 point whatever patches. And so, they even talked about how, at first it sounds like it's retainer ventures for your airship. It sounds like later it will be you, your free company, and anyone who, wants to hitch a ride will be able to take, your airship to some island. And this is where I'm a little scared is I hope that my dreams and desires for where they go with this are not greater than what they're thinking about.
I can see that because as you're saying it, my mind is going from retainer ventures to landing on an island to you get to see these retainer ventures or party members of a ship that are NPCs fighting against mobs and you go to help them. And then my free company, I'll get to ride a ship to some remote island that's been unexplored and it's an instant zone. And then I think, well, maybe what if it's not an instant zone? Maybe it's free out there and then other free companies can land in. But then I know this game, so it'll probably be an instant zone and not an open world area. I can see my imagination running wild with it. I am fearful that it stops at a certain point and it goes on rails instead of being this wild adventure my mind can go on.
Well, there was a really interesting Reddit post, I think today or yesterday, that was like, people were dreaming big. And I hope, I don't expect it to be there in 3.0, but people are dreaming big. People are dreaming, oh my God, it sounds like we might get some of that open world stuff. Some of us are real open world buffs. We have seen open world done pretty well in other games, and we're hoping that some of those wild and dangerous lands are out there in Heavensward. And I'm a little worried they're not. However, they did some really interesting things about you might plot a course to this island, but random event happens and you end up there. And that to me is very exciting. Some people might be annoyed by that though. So where do are they going to play it safe? Or are they going to say anything could happen after you launch this airship? Are you sure you want to do this?
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Do you all have the next 3 hours to play? Because here we go. All right. They also mentioned that, we'll be able to, in our free company workshops, improve our estates, and there's going to be new furnishings and whatnot. Other updates, there will be new ventures, more sightseeing log. I still haven't finished the earlier. Did you guys do sightseeing log yet?
No.
I did a couple and rage quit and never went back.
I'm at 19 using a third-party website that basically shows you a screenshot and which ones are available right now. I just noped it, basically. There will be markets, Ishgardian markets. There will be new triple triad cards.
Matt confessed to having only 61 on duty commands.
Oh, man. I wonder. I know I have 60.
I think I have 65 or 66.
I think I'm at 61.
We're beating you, Matt. Bayhone, we're beating you.
We're beating you, Bayhone. Name the podcast that. There's also going to be adjustments to things in 2.0, which I'm glad. I'm glad they're not just saying 2.0, whatever. No one cares. there will be an expansion to the duty finder. We will be able to challenge duties with smaller parties. There will be new roulette types and conditions, and there will be a voluntary, I'm going to say it in bold letters, guys, voluntary. People weren't reading this, voluntary ability to sink to the lowest eye level for that dungeon.
Whoa.
So,
Why do
we're
I have
totally
to,
forced to,
why
right?
do I have to sink to the lowest eye level, Yelta?
Voluntary.
Oh.
So we have to, right?
Right.
Oh
That
my
means
God.
you must.
Oh, yeah, I'm assuming there's going to be some, like right now there's like a join in progress. I'm hoping there's going to be like this join and sync me button. And I've actually been a part of, I think you guys both have too. We've actually bought and crafted gear at the lowest eye level for some of the content in 2.0 just to see what it's like with a full party of 8 or 4.
That Pharaoh Sirius was home.
I know some of them were really challenging at the eye level, and yeah, most people aren't going to click that button. I think most people are like, I just want to get through it. But I think if I have a full party, especially of 4 or 8, and I want to say, hey, let's see, let's go back in time and remember when I didn't outlevel this content, or remember my poor husband was eye level 72, and we were 115 and trying to do that AK normal
He
mode
was
with
so
him.
irritated.
Oh, he
I
was
felt so bad
He was
for
so
him.
irritated with you, Yelta.
Oh my God. I kept saying, honey, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. I other than take off my clothes. And then his eyebrow went up.
That worked once before.
I know, at least once. So yeah, no, I think this is cool if you can voluntarily do that. I do think it's interesting to challenge stuff with smaller parties. I know that one of our big complaints has been the inflexibility. I either have to have 4 or 8 people to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see what the new roulette types and conditions are. That could be fun. I hope that people realize, though, some people still don't seem to understand that when I click the roulette button, that means I deal with whatever happens. So many people post, even today, I got in there with a tank and AF. Well, yeah, he needs the clear.
He needed help.
Yeah.
That's why it's roulette.
Yeah. Take off your clothes and heal. Whatever.
Which I don't think people get.
Baby.
The
You don't have to
end
tell me
game-
twice.
The end game people who are queuing up for roulette are not really who it's meant for. It's
No.
meant for the newbie who needs the clear that doesn't know enough people to help him run it.
Uh-huh.
So he queues up for it, and we're there to help him because we outgear it ridiculously and have run it before. Fucking
both
get
quit.
over it if you have new people and let them watch their cutscene, and I'll get off my soapbox now.
That's why you get the soldiery bonus, guys. Just sit back. You hit roulette. You check that box. You queued up for it. Then you deal with it. And I'm not saying deal with it with the other people are purposely trolling you. Then no, report those people. That's not right. But if a brand new tank or healer or DPS is in there, you signed up for it, guys. You signed up for it. All right. I think I'm done ranting. Do you have a Ruby
Yeah.
gonna rant? No, you done?
Yeah.
Ruby's still
pitchforks.
taking his clothes
Pitchforks.
off.
Well, I guess I better put my pants back on. We're done with this topic.
There's going to be an expansion of loot systems for normal and hard raids. There will be a loot master system. Now, it sounded like this was also optional. You can choose like all greed systems.
Yeah, optional but helpful. Optional but should have already been in the game. Once again, here's some stuff that should have been at launch of 2.0
Or 1.0.
or 1.0. Well, there should have been a lot of shit at the launch of 1.0.
We're just letting that
like
one
a
go
game,
by.
like
Yeah.
a plot, like anyway.
There was a plot. You could just parlay your way through it.
Yeah, parlay everything.
All right. My favorite
But
thing.
we're not bitter.
Or at least we're not bitter. Especially for like parties we have greed parties today in the duty finder, but I can honestly, by God, I can hit need. And there is nothing I can do about it then. Now I'm on 7 other people's blacklists and it's awful.
Now, I know you would have done that on accident. There are some
mental matters,
assholes
yes.
that do it on purpose, and instead of going at the beginning of a duty finder run or a party finder run, this is a greed party, and then taking the consequences if you get an asshole that you just set it for all greed, or I'm the loot master and I dole out to who it goes to. That kind of stuff. That it stops this crap.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite one is though that lets you downgrade your loot choice. So
Yes. Oh my God.
how many times have you been in somewhere and I just automatically greed and the black mage says, "Oh man, that's a super good upgrade for my tank." Well, the other three of us don't fucking need it. Why can't I
So yeah.
say, "No, okay, I greeted it, but the timer's still going. Let me pass." Because I don't usually loot to be an asshole. I loot out of habit.
And out of seals wanted.
Yeah, for
You know,
grand company seals.
but you know, that's me being greedy. But if someone honestly says that's an upgrade for me, I will hand that over to a stranger. I don't care. So I don't know. It sounds like that's going to be implemented also. They did showcase DirectX 11, which I'm sorry, it looked awesome. I think the game looks pretty good now. As a 1.0 player, there are some things that aren't quite as pretty as they were in 1.0, but I think this Direct 11 thing, some of the screenshots I've seen and whatnot, it's so pretty.
Oh my God, yes.
It's gorgeous. It's honestly, like you said, I thought this game looked pretty damn good. But no, it's night and day. Who is it? Bayhone put up a picture that someone else had put up that had the without DX11 and with DX11 and had them like interchanging.
Oh yeah, the GIF.
Yeah.
GIF,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. So it would show the old and then it would show the new, and it's astonishing. It really is. Just the detail and the depth and the coloring and the
shadowing,
how much more
and the
alive
shine.
everything looks. Yeah. And I will admit, there were so many things wrong with 1.0, but it was a gorgeous game. I mean, it really was. And I remember when Yelta and I went to take pictures for our first blog, to make like a headliner and a background and stuff, and the flowers were gorgeous up close, just out in the middle of the wilderness, just gorgeous. And I was a little taken aback by when we went in 2.0 that if you get up close enough to take the pictures we took in 1.0, how pixelated they looked. Or
The
how...
grass ruins my immersion.
Yes, I'm with you there, Ruby. I totally am. But it wasn't harming me in any way. I'm usually not scrolled in close enough for that to bother me in any way, shape, or form. But I think that DX11 is going to take care of a whole lot of that.
Well, and I know some people are like, I need to run out and buy a new graphics card to handle this DX11, but it's my understanding, and I'm not technical. It sounds like that it should actually make it run better than it does today on older
That's what they
cards,
said.
right? So
That's what they said.
Yeah. So don't run out. And the benchmark is coming out with DX11, right?
Yeah. There will be one. Yeah.
So before you run out and buy a new graphics card or buy a new computer, run that benchmark and see what you get. Because I think we're going to be
next weekend or whatever.
I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised. I'm hoping we'll be pleasantly surprised. Q&A questions will be answered and released soon due to the nature of the presentation, and we're going to have new battle info with an upcoming live letter. I think some of those Q&A questions have been answered.
I think they did get them out by now, yeah, but the battle info, I think they said there would be a May live letter that would have the information about the battle systems. And
I think that's where they're going to go in depth about how the new jobs are going to play, and also how what changes, because they've already said they're going to change some things about both like our stats and how they affect our existing jobs and whatnot. So I know people are very, very can't handle the anticipation for that, and I'm excited too. All right, the content release schedule. June 19th is early access. It is the date after E3? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Matt and Devin were all like, yay, we're so glad to be working
Oh
during that time
no!
because they have to do E3 and then early access comes out and then you've got all this other stuff. So they will be super overloaded.
Oh,
We
wow.
as fans will be in gamer heaven
Wait,
during that time.
some
So
of
much
us,
info.
some of us have booked our vacation days. So
Ooh.
yeah. The official launch is June 23rd. And guys, there's no reason, we've talked about this before, but there's no reason to kill yourself. You can't even get into Alexander normal till 2 weeks after that. So take your time, level up, watch your cutscenes, and take it easy. 2 weeks after
Read your storyline.
read your
Yeah.
storyline. 2 weeks after that is going to be the Savage mode for Alexander. And that's when you'll be able to accumulate tomestones of esoterics. And that's when the new front lines will be open. So they've given some reasons for that is, so players aren't pressured to level quickly or skip content to rush. Totally in favor of that. Alexander normal, you can challenge as much as you like. And I think they already said it's going to have a completely different loot table than Alexander Savage. So have fun. There were some extras after the live letter. After the Heavensward presentation, there was a PAX East video.
I don't even know if we should cover that or not. They really focused in on certain members of the community or that was in the audience. And our friend and yours, Joe Never Fails, was like laughing his head off in the middle of that thing. He looked kind of funny, laughing. But apparently that whatever was going on was pretty darn funny.
They also
Is it wrong that I don't know who that is?
Well, Ruby and I know
so.
because he lied.
We know because we were at FanFest, and at one point they were doing the raffle, and we actually had a buddy, Sly Fox won the raffle there, but they were naming raffle tickets, and somebody jumps up because they would give like 2 or 3 tries, and somebody jumped up after like the second or third time they read the number, and it was Joe Never Fails, who was a Twitch streamer, and he ran up there and whatever and got up to Bayhone and showed his ticket, and it was not even the number. He was completely trolling, which was funny. And then at the same time, we're like, what the hell, dude? What kind of dick move was that? But he's a cool guy. Anyway, it's just funny because he sports this white T-shirt with his slogan on the Joe Never, and he wears like this headband, and he does a lot of PvP. I think that's what his stream mainly consists of. So.
It was pretty funny. Also, after the live letter, they showed the End of an Era / Flames of Truth trailer, which is basically if you sit on the start menu of the game too long, that movie plays, right? And then I cry.
Me too, every time.
There is an additional little segment. At first I wasn't even sure I was tuned into the right thing, because it's like I've seen this, and then all of a sudden something happens, and it is spoilery if you don't know what happens in the cutscene before turn 12.
12, yeah.
Right. So I actually saw the video first. At the same time, I don't feel totally spoiled. So it kind of shows what happened there. It was okay, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah. And then they introduced Kazuyuki Ikumori. Am I saying that right?
I think so.
That's the Chief Creative Director of Visual Works Division for Square Enix. They also introduced Soken. We all love Soken. They talked to him quite a bit, and then they showcased the Dissidia arcade.
Dissidia. So okay,
thank you.
The whole thing here was like this dude, I guess, is the one designing this the Dissidia stuff. And Dissidia, if you've played it, is the Final Fantasy fighting game. The first couple were on PSP, and you played through characters 1 through 13 or what have you, depending on the game. And you get to play the bad guys, and there's a cool story with it. It's a great game. Anyway, they're putting it into arcades. And Yoshida is playable as a Final Fantasy 14 character in this. So they like directly showcased her. They showed her, which she's like super skinny. I think if people have pointed this out, she's like terribly malnourished in this thing. Something looks off to me. Like she looks too young or too skinny or a combination of both. And she doesn't have that like the wise look that she has in 14. And she's not fleshed out. But these are early, so maybe it's not completely fleshed out for Dissidia yet. What were you saying, Yelta?
Well, and I'm sure it's a different whole game engine and whatnot. But yeah, I was I didn't think she looked as cool as she does in 14.
She looks cooler in 14. She looks cooler. But she was using the 14 spells. Like I could point out, she used Ruin, she used Arrow, she used Stone, Miasma. She used her like, I think somebody has named it. I think it's called like ethereal barrier or ethereal burst or something.
Oh, is that the one that's like special to her? We don't have it?
It's like a protection ball. You've seen it in the early cutscenes when her, and she uses it in the 2.55 cutscenes. Anyway, that's one of her abilities. And you could even see there's like a poison icon, like she used bio, and I think it put poison on a character, and you could see the Final Fantasy 14 poison icon that kind of looks like a green flaccid penis that's like that strange drippy looking like I have syphilis icon, and that was that was next to a character's name. So as a healer, I heal people from syphilis on the reg.
I'm never going to be able to see that again and not see a green flaccid
as a healer
penis.
That looks at green flaccid penis icons quite a bit. That is what I have dubbed it.
And I give them out, so.
Gee, thanks.
There was music. It was Torn from the Heavens, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the boss music.
Very cool. Very cool. They also talked about the Orzea Cafe's expanded menu, level 3 menu unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't catch any of that, so I have no idea what that was about.
I don't think they showed any food.
All right. They just said, okay.
Yeah.
The Nico Nico 2015, and we're all looking forward to it, is on Saturday, April 25th, with the Fate in Tokyo. It has double the number of events and activities, new Heavensward merchandise, shirts, rice cracker snacks. Yay.
These were cool. They looked like they were little icons from Gold Saucer. I think there was like cactos and stuff. And they were on like these little, I thought they were cookies. And it was like, those are rice crackers. I don't know. I'm stupid. But they were like individualized. So that looked cool. They had a bunch of different t-shirts and stuff. They sold some weird t-shirts. Like they were showing off like, one said war and it was like a bear, but it almost looked like those WWF Wildlife Panda shirts. That was kind of odd to me.
I didn't understand.
And then there was one that was like a green arrow, and they were showing them off when they wore, and I was like, why are they talking about Portal? Like it looks like the Portal dude running through a green sign. I'm dumb. I don't know what they were talking about, but there were some neat shirts, so go get you a war shirt. Maybe it was the war mount. Maybe it was
the warrior mount's a bear.
Yeah.
Right? So
it kind of made sense. I'm dumb.
All right. We also had the Duty Commenced, which covered a lot of the stuff we already did. It did have a couple other things that were not in the live letter. Guys, I thought we made this clear when we were on another podcast that you're supposed to call us first to make sure that Yelta can pronounce your new names. And you missed the boat, guys. I'm not sure I can say this. But they did introduce a new community member. I don't know.
Zexos.
That's
where I'm going with it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Which is our own beloved Reinhardt. You'll always be Reinhardt. But Zexos, they introduced him.
Did you guys see him? Did you watch him?
So busy.
I love you, Reinhardt, but you were so nervous on that deal. You were like looking away and stuff. Like, embrace us.
Own it.
Embrace us, Reinhardt. Just be like, slam your fist on the table. Like, I'm the new community rep. Zexos. I'm the bomb. Literally, look at my avatar. And
I'm the bomb.
I'm here to run things now. So I'm gonna ask Devin and Matt to go ahead and step away, and I'm gonna introduce my fellow Eorzeans. That's how you should have done it, bro. Just saying.
Well, he has so much support. We're all out here supporting you.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, no, just totally own it. We're here. We love you and do great work.
All right, they did do a sample video for the upcoming dub contest. I have no idea what happened in it because I didn't see it.
No,
Well,
I
I'm
did.
mid-drink
I
of
did
water.
watch it. Yeah, I watched it. They did just voice over a cutscene. Yeah, it was cute.
It was cute. I guess they were going for the serious. I don't know
I
which
thought
one.
they were too. Yeah.
It was a little serious. It was a little funny, especially when the Yoda voice
Yes.
for Wedge went out, and I believe due to a tweet from Reinhardt that was his voice acting. So well done, sir.
Oh, cool.
I have to admit, I got the giggles when I started hearing the Yoda voice.
I'm gonna have to check it out. Speaking of the dub contest, there is a contest, the A Realm Reborn redubbed contest. There is a link to the official forum post that has rules. It's called We Dub to Make It Ours. It's back. It's slightly remixed. This time around, we're challenging you to select a cutscene that took place from 2.0 to 2.51. That means no 2.55, guys.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. 2.0 to 2.51. And you need to add your very own voice acting to it. It starts on Monday, April 13th, so it's already started. And it ends Friday, May 1st. So
hurry.
So hurry. You can collaborate with up to 3 people. There are 2 categories. You can do serious or comedy. There will be 3 winning submissions in each category that will get physical prizes. All qualifying entries will get the Bluebird earring, and all those who collaborated in that video will get an earring. So basically, it sounds like much like that cooking contest. If you enter the contest correctly, if you fulfill the entry requirements, you will get the Bluebird earring.
I wish I knew 2 people that I could do this with.
God,
that had voice
2
recording
people
software.
I don't know.
That this would be a possibility.
Mm.
How many of us are here?
It's too bad. We don't know.
See, to divide by.
We're definitely gonna have to do this.
We have to.
And we need to get on it. And I'm leaning towards comedy, guys. Just
I
so you
think
know.
comedy's probably the way to go.
I think if I would start out serious, much like the 1.0 Valentine's Day contest where I started out trying to write that love letter, it all turned funny. So I think there's like no way for me to do this serious. But
I don't want to do like a comedy bit. Like I don't want to do a Hildebrand.
I don't
like,
either.
I
Not
want to
at
take
all.
like a serious scene.
Yes.
And make it
and totally
hilarious.
ham it up.
Guys,
and
don't give away our
wait.
secrets. Shh.
I mean, Hildebrand. Let's do
So
Hildebrand.
Definitely.
I wanna
Because
win.
nobody will do
No
Hildebrand.
one will do Hildebrand.
Yeah, no. Someone should definitely do the with all of the garden plant guys. What are they called?
Oh, those the tomato people, onion.
The tomato
thingies.
and onion guy, and yeah, someone should do something with that because honestly, I would love to see that. We're not doing it, but someone should because it's still one of my favorite little things.
I want that damn earring too. My girlfriend got
Me
the
too.
earring, and I can't let her have an item that I don't have. It's
Well, Kariri and I have to have all the things.
well, yes,
Yeah.
it's part of the Sumasu way.
It is the Loot Horse Sisters.
Loot Horse Sisters,
Okay.
yes.
All right, so get recording, guys. You can do it. We're gonna do it. Then next up was the Time article with our own Yoshi P. It was called "Meet the Guy Who Saved Final Fantasy XIV from Total Disaster." It was the April 14th issue, I believe. And we know most of this, so I'm going to go down it very quickly. It talks about how there are 4 million accounts worldwide. It boasts that player feedback is what drives their changes while keeping with their long-term plan. It also talks about Heavensward a bit, the look and feel and what to expect. How Final Fantasy XIV is going to stick with the Holy Trinity, tank, healer, DPS. It hints at adding, maybe skill trees and, maybe red mage.
Stop.
Yeah.
Listen, this man, he does his hints, he does the shirts, the gun, and all the other stuff. This guy has talked about Red Mage for a long time, and he talks a little bit later. I know you'll cover this here, but we've talked about it before. It's the snowboarding thing. You don't just ask Yoshida a question and he gives you all these answers and they're not going to do it. They've hinted at Red Mage for a long time. Will it be coming in 3.0? No. But it might come in like 3.5, like Ninja did. It most definitely will be here in 4.0. I'm putting it out there right now.
I'm pretty much with you on that one. He's also said, isn't that like one of his favorite jobs ever?
I think so.
Yeah, so
it's iconic. That's why he keeps promoting it.
It's hugely, yeah. So many people love being a red mage. So it's
Dirtblander will be wearing a Warlock chapeau in the 4.0 trailer.
Will it be the total pimp hat from 11?
It'll have a feather so big. It's so big. So big.
Oh.
And fortune telling is provided by Rubicon Veil tonight.
Thank you, Astrologian in Chief.
It also talks about A Realm Reborn, how the story was finished even before patch 2.1. And 4.0 is already being worked on. So they're, even when we were in 1.0, they were already talking in there. They were already planning 2.0, 2.55. They were already thinking about 3.0. So right now, they're already thinking about 4.0. It was inspired by, and no one will be shocked by this, Game of Thrones, King Arthur, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Dragon Quest 1 through 3, and Final Fantasy 1. So there's a lot of inspiration. I like that they both think within and outside of the Final Fantasy universe itself, because, there's good stories out there, and we should have them all in this game. They explain how the story-driven approach and how the game may start slow, but it ramps up as the story continues, and personally, they said before that's very much on purpose. They wanted it to start slow and make it easy to get into. There is a demand for more mini games. He talked very much here in the Time article and other places about snowboarding. And we are going to get a new attraction in patch 3.1. I don't know if that attraction will be snowboarding or if that's yet to come, but...
He wants us to craft our own snowboards.
Yeah, there was talk I didn't understand. What?
He keeps mentioning that. That's like the third time he's mentioned crafting our own snowboards. So I'm wondering if the new attraction we're getting in 3.1 is snowboarding, and when 3.0 releases, one of the items we can craft
is snowboards.
Is a snowboard.
I'm going to be a woodworking specialist.
There you go.
All the
snowboards. You won't be able to use them. But...
Because I'll be busy playing Triple Triad, but I'll sell them. I'll sell you snow.
They did talk about having maybe a Yoshida minion or Triple Triad card. He said probably not, but there is that Wandering Minstrel.
I want that card.
Ever since, was it Virgil? Virgil drew the Wandering Minstrel, right? The little mini minstrel, which I've loved since I first saw it. I don't know what hoops there would be to jump through, but if they made a Wandering Minstrel, mini minstrel minion that looked like that, I would be in heaven. It's so cute. But yeah, Triple Triad card. That'd be cool too, right? We like Triple Triad cards.
Absolutely.
I think I could take one of those, yes.
What's on tap? Developers blog and tracker. We've already talked a bit about the... it was mentioned earlier, but it's the dev post was this one goes to 11, which the title cracked me up.
Cute.
But this one goes to 11. They showcased again, 2 screenshots of shiny floors. It's the same image from that blog post, which some fan used to make that little movie, which basically flipped between them, which really showcased what the differences are. So.
It isn't even the floors that got me so much. If you look at the detail on the ceiling, it's so cool. And like the white pillar in between the 2 black pillars, it's kind of amazing. If you look at the
textures on the equipment, honestly, like one of the guys wearing a coat,
the white mage and
no, I'm very excited. I can't wait to see more. In fact, I'm actually disappointed, guys, that this only had 2 screenshots. Right?
That's true. We could have seen
a whole wish they would have shown like 3 before and 3 afters.
I would love to see an outside one.
Well, here we go, because if you guys wait a week, we will probably see a side-by-side benchmark.
That's true.
That's true.
The 9 and the 11 back-to-back. And this will probably have outside shots. I know they said this Dragoon Limit Break would be in it, so we're going to get a variety of outtakes that we can compare these to. It's going to be amazing.
But I'm a greedy bitch and I want it now.
Well, of course you do.
It says grab the invigorated fan kit. The fan kit has been once more updated with Heavensward wallpapers for PC, phone, and Twitter. I don't even know what else is in it this time around because I just checked.
I think it's the
feel
only thing. When I clicked it, those were the only things that said that were new.
All right, there's new stuff.
I swear to God, though, the one that says new was the same one we announced last time.
Oh.
I really think so.
Now while I go click this.
Because I'm looking at that's the. I
don't
swear.
know. Which one?
How old is this? How old was this one? It's probably an old one. I fished it up from the grave.
The new wallpaper. That's a new one to me.
Is it?
Yeah, I think there was only 2 Heavensward ones
I must
before
have clicked into this one before then, but maybe this came out about the same time as the live letter while we were still on. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
But it's hard
There's
to tell.
a new to some people wallpaper.
All right, happy hour. Woo, half price appetizers. Listener questions and fan mail, guys. Someone actually emailed us. We received an email directly to our account.
Can I read
You
the
read
mail?
it. Read it, please.
All right. We have a letter from Millicent Green of Excalibur, and it says, "Love the show, but methinks you need to more talk about them tacos. Sincerely, from totally not the guy in your free company that is obsessed with tacos."
This guy's obsessed with tacos.
There might be a taco obsession involved. Oh, we love you, Millie. Thank you for emailing us.
Yes, yeah, that is our very first email from a listener, so we were pretty excited by it.
Someday,
even if it is about tacos.
Someday, Millie, we will stand before Yoshida on that day, and we will ask Yoshida, Lord Yoshida, where are the tacos?
It will be a thing.
There are tacos for everyone. He'll break the tacos and hand out loaves of tacos. And is that how they come? Loaves of tacos?
No, I think it's a 6-pack and a pound, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, no,
and all the bacon bread will be transformed into tacos.
The tacos. Fuck bacon bread. I said that for you because I don't even eat it.
Oh God.
All right. Thank you, Millie. We really appreciate the email.
Yeah.
And I have gotten a couple of tweets from people. I have seen a couple people find me in a dungeon. I have had a couple of Skype messages from people. Please email us and let us know, what do you do in the game? How do you like the podcast? Anything at this point. I'm attention whoring. Email us.
We could all use the ego boost. Everyone likes to hear how awesome they are. even if you have, hey, you said this, and I think you meant that. We're okay with that too. Someone mentioned on Twitter something about, every time you guys mention what's that guy's name, I'm screaming their name at the podcast. Like that really tickled me because
it was narrow. All right, it was narrow.
Yeah.
I think one of them was La Habrea too.
Oh, La Habrea.
Yeah, in a different point. But yeah, they're like, I was screaming at my radio, and I thought that was pretty funny because occasionally I get just completely stuck on names, and I know we all do, but that kind of
Ishgard, Kariri,
Ishgard. I can't believe I couldn't remember that. But yeah, any feedback is good feedback for us.
But definitely get our email address into your address book because sometime, and probably not too far out, we are going to probably have some sort of contest. And there will be a fabulous prize involved. We haven't fleshed it out yet, but learn our email address, test it out.
Oh, I hope I win.
And please look forward to it.
Please look forward to it. All right, last call. It's time for any and all shout outs. I think I see written down here Ruby has a shout out.
Ooh. Teacher. Miss, I have a shout out.
Rubicon Vale.
Yes, I have a shout out. I was chillaxing on the couch on Saturday night, and I tuned over to my homeboy and all of ours, Sly the Fox. He's on Twitter at Sly the Fox. He had his Twitch going at Sly, aka Gray Fox, on Twitch, and he's part of the Dream Network. They're doing their State of the Realm, I believe, tomorrow night, and He's a big-time Twitch streamer. We got to hang out with him at FanFest. Like I said, he won a raffle at FanFest, but cool dude. Go check out his Twitch. I think he does almost every night of the week, like Manic Mondays, Terrible Tuesdays, Wasted Wednesdays,
pretty
Thirsty
much every day,
Thursday.
yeah.
He's got it all. So go check him out. He's a cool guy.
Definitely. Love watching us stream. All right, it's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can find us on Twitter. Our handle is @GTFFXIV. You can email us, and please do, at gtffxiv@gmail.com. Our recordings can be found on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/gtffxiv. And you can subscribe to us on iTunes. Search either Gather Together or GTFFXIV. There might be a theme here. It's GTFFXIV. All right.
What was it again, Yelta?
It might be GTFFXIV. Shut
Oh, now I can't say it.
All right. Just for that, I'm going to make you do your plugs first, Kariri.
Oh, mine's pretty hard. I'm on Twitter at Kariri Sumasu, KARIRISUMASU.
All right. How about you, Ruby?
You can find me on Twitter at Rubicon Vale, GTFFXIV. Wait, no, damn it. No, it's RUBICONVALE.
And you can find me, Yelta, on Twitter also, YELTASUMASU.
You spelled it wrong.
YELTASUMASU.
No, I'm pretty sure it's
Oh my god! I'm not even drunk. Quit fucking with me. All right, it's time to go, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye. Bye-bye.